Hey everybody, thanks for stopping by the channel, checking out another video. Today we're back out here in the shop and we're going to work on the used oil burner again. This is something I've been trying to avoid, kind of put off a little bit, but I'm at the point that that's what I need to get done. It's the door. When we cut the door, cut it out, the piece that we cut out actually sprung a little bit, so it doesn't fit back in smooth. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to heat shrink it and bend it back into submission. So I've only done this a few times with varying success, so I can take you all along and see if it's a thumbs up or a thumbs down. So hope you all can give this video a thumbs up, but the project here, it's dragging on way too long. So get the camera shut off here, we'll get on this thing. Alright y'all, here's what I'm talking about. You can see that gap there down along here, and it kind of smooths out about not quite halfway, so it's just these sides on each side there that are sticking out. So what I'm going to do is come out and about right in this area right in here on the back side, heat it up, get it good and hot, which you know everybody knows when you heat metal up it expands, but when you quench it or cool it, it actually pulls back and will pull back past, you know, supposedly past, you know, smaller than what it was originally. So got some quenching stuff over here. It's a little bit of snow from outside. We're gonna get this out of here, get the torches set up, and I'm gonna make a mark on there about where I need to heat it up. And like I said, we're gonna heat it on the back side. So let me get a few more things set up here, and we'll try this out and see how it works. Yeah, this would probably go a lot faster if I had a rosebud tip, but I don't, so we'll get her though. Dedication and perseverance will overcome everything. So. Alright y'all, as soon as this cools down enough that I can touch her, we'll see if she shrunk back into submission. She's still pretty hot. One thing nice about living in this kind of climate, I got some nice quenching material there to alright. Kind of make quick work of that stuff, so alright. Yeah, it should be cool enough to handle now. So let me get you guys turned around here. We'll see if this thing fits. We'll see how we did. Alright, y'all. Hope y'all can see that. It brought it pretty close back into where it needs to be. I mean that line there. I think if we heat her up out here one more time and let that roll back in, I think we'll have her. Because I mean, on this side here, we're still out just as much as what we were. You know, so yeah. Let me. I'm gonna do this off camera here. I'm gonna heat her up a couple inches from this end and see if we can't pull her back around, and then we'll do the other side and we'll bring you back and show you what we come up with. Alright, y'all. Hoping you all can see this pretty good. We got her pretty tight. I mean, that's the gasket we're gonna put around there will take care of that. You know, she's a little off there, but I mean, all in all, I think did a pretty good job. We ended up, my last heat was right here in the center. I did one here, one out here, and one out here, and just let that curve back in there. So, and I think I need to explain maybe a little better what I was doing. You can see the heat marks here. I wasn't heating all the way through the steel. Okay, I was heating up this side here, getting the majority of this top piece on each side down through here hot, quenching it, and this cooler piece back here does not retract, does not shrink as much as what this does. So what it does is it hinges it, it pulls it. This works really well on thicker steel. Does not work on thin stuff. I mean, it can work on thin stuff, but you have to just kind of get it. It's real hard to get to heat just the one side if you get too thin. 1/4 inch thick is just about the most you want to try to do this with. Anything thinner than that, it's really hard to regulate the temperature going through the steel. But there's other ways of shrinking. Body guys do it. I mean, if you guys want to see how to do that, like I said, there's a bunch of videos out there, body guys showing how to shrink with the heat with a torch and stuff. And excuse me, but this has always worked fairly well for me on the thicker stuff. Back in the day when I worked on heavy equipment and semis and stuff like that, we've done this with 3/4 inch, 1 inch plate steel. You get a piece, yes, some of the big earth removing equipment, you know, you will bend a piece of 1 inch plate, and rather than cutting it, squaring it, welding it back up, you can do a lot of this. You can, you know, do this with it. So sometimes we did have to put relief cuts on the back side, you know, to get it to move enough, but it works just the same. You put a relief cut on the back, you heat it up on this side, quench it, it'll pull it, and you can almost get a piece of steel perfectly flat again. Take your welder, weld up your relief cuts, grind them. They're great. So, all right, let's move on to the next step here. I'm actually gonna take a little break, but when you guys come back, we'll be laying out for the sheet of steel that goes over this piece before we can put our gasket on. So we'll bring you back here in just a second. All right, y'all. What I've done here is I've set the door back in place. There's a big gap here, no gap there. I'll space that out. No big deal. But I've taken some painter's tape and actually made a square hole so I can get a measurement of the sheet that I'm going to make to cover this for the gasket. It's going to be 8 by 16, rough measurement there, but yeah, that's what I'm doing there. And that way it doesn't matter if this is in there a little crooked or not. Appearance wise, you know, it'll look a little better if the door's kind of square. But like I said, this is a used oil burner for my shop. It's nothing special. So let me get some sheet steel cut here, and what I think what I'm going to do is I'll get it lined up and I'll drill some holes in it, and I'll just plug weld it on the outside, and I might put a thin bead around the inside, around this area here. Not sure yet, but at least we might at least tack weld it. So we'll find out when we get there. So all right, bring you back when I get that steel cut and stuff. All right, y'all, little change of plans here. Instead of doing a full sheet across this, I didn't have anything thin enough, but all I had was 3/16 or quarter, big enough to make this in one piece. So what I'm going to do, I found this 2-inch wide thinner stuff here. I think this is 1/8 inch. I already cut one strip there, as you can see, and I'm just going to do some welds around there, and then we'll do one across the bottom, and then I should have just enough to fill in between the two, and that'll be our door. And then we'll make a hinge out here on this end down here. So yeah, change of plans. I think I'm gonna like this a lot better anyways. So I'm gonna break the welder out here, get some stitch welds going on there, and then we'll do the bottom one and bring you back and show you the progress. Alright, y'all, there it is. Got the banding all the way around it. This side is mostly welded up. I got to weld up this side over here and across, but yeah, she looks pretty good. Next is making hinges for it and a latch. So just keep plugging along on it here, and we'll get the hinges made, or get it finished welded up, and then we'll get the hinges and latch made for it. Alright, guys, starting to work on the hinge here. Just cut out a couple little squares there, drilled a hole in them, and I had this round stock that already had that 90 bent on it, so I used that. I just got to heat it up a little bit, bend it to the curve of the door, and this should work pretty well. And you guys see there, I kind of tack welded the door shut in place where I wanted it at. So hopefully when we cut them welds and take the clamps off of it, this thing will swing nice. So let me get these welds ground off here, and we will see if this thing swings. I got it kind of tacked in place, but it should swing. So alright, bring it right back. Alright, y'all, got these tack welds cut, got all the clamps off but the one. So let's take this clamp off and see if this thing actually swings. Ooh, good sign it didn't drop. So look at that. Oh yeah, I think we're gonna be good. Now just need to come up with a latch for that side there. Alright, I am going to finish welding this out. Probably won't bring y'all along. I will come back after we get it all welded up, cleaned up and everything, and show you all what we finally ended up with. So there you got it. Alright, guys, got the door all cleaned up. Just basically took off all the splatter and stuff and the bad areas, whatever. Wasn't too worried about the finish on it, but turned out pretty nice. I think I'm going to end the video here. I do still have to make a latch for that door. Don't know how I'm going to do it yet, so got to get the brain working up here. I think this video is going to be long enough with just this content. So appreciate y'all watching, and next time we're going to probably work on I know I'm going to work on the air feed, the tube that we made up that drops in and blows the air down into the burn pot, and it also has the oil feed line running through it. So need to get one little more part for that, and we'll get it installed, and ain't too much more after that. Weld the bottom end, cut the hole in the top, make a flange for the chimney to attach to, and I think that's going to be about it. She'll be burning. So appreciate y'all watching. Remember, like, comment, subscribe. Stop by Sunday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern Time for the live stream. Hang out with us. We talk about everything there, so come on by. So, all right, catch you all on the next one.